Alright, so I've seen a lot of crazy shit on the internet, but this takes the cake, man. This is the most batshit insane rabbit hole I've ever went down. So yeah, like Nexpo basically exposed a cult, blew it wide open in his latest video, and he goes through the entire process, how he came across it, when he's like started to keep digging into everything, and just how deep this goes and the lengths these people go to do what they're doing is actually scary, dude. And people are genuinely worried about him. Like, look at these comments, man. Like, he may very well be a target of this cult. I want to call him. Uh, you know, later in the video too, it shows like what they've done to people that have tried to speak out against them in the past. So yeah, if pray for Nexpo, man. If anything happens to him, you know who did it. You see like content coming after him, assaulting his character, trying to discredit him. You already know who's behind this, man. Like, check this. This is insane.
YouTubers are now a thing, and they're super scary. Hi guys. Recently I found a video on YouTube about Destiny doing some research and some weird things, and one thing caught my attention. This dude named Egon Cholakian is supposed to be a person with a lot of influence in the US government, but he never existed, and everything about him is just odd or weird in some way. He has a YouTube channel in which he only speaks directly to a camera, speaks a bunch of nonsense about geopolitical stuff, and does not move. I'm being serious, this guy sits for 3 hours without moving his hands. All across the internet, we can find him. On LinkedIn, Facebook, research archives, and photographed with countless major public figures in governments and academia. Egon?
See that? He's shaking the hands with the fucking Pope, man. Like, it looks legit at first glance. Everything that's going on here looks totally normal, totally legit.
According to his Facebook and LinkedIn profiles, carries a highly decorated resume, having studied at numerous prestigious institutions like Harvard, MIT, and Stanford. And while this looks impressive, he notes that he somehow attended these universities at the exact same time. Now, as we know, anyone can put anything on a LinkedIn profile, and given that his accolades are so incredibly out there, it's possible that some, if not all of his social media claims are bogus. On top of this, if we perform a search for Egon Cholakian on the internet, we'll find that hardly any of his actual research comes up. For someone so ingrained, so well networked, you would think that this man's work would be everywhere. But aside from his own profiles, paid articles he himself submitted to the press, and videos from his YouTube channel, little, if anything, is out there. It seems that all we have are a myriad of images depicting Egon with public figures. However, upon looking at them closer, even these seem strangely uncanny.
Shout out Nexpo, man, going to work here, dude. This is such a good video. Look at this.
He can be seen photographed with former CIA Director Stansfield Turner, but it looks... This one's with a Harvard colleague named Robert Merton, but what's going on here? Okay, what about this one? This one looks normal.
See, this one, it looks normal, but one thing I noticed is look at his thumb right there. Like, that looks like it could be some AI bullshit. So yeah, this dude is literally just photoshopping himself with anyone that looks important, trying to just make himself look as legitimate as possible. Did a really good job, to be honest. It's crazy how...
Egon Cholakian has fabricated a massive network of images depicting endless aspects of his life that never happened. This is why he's garnered such an infamous reputation. The bizarre, nonsensical LinkedIn timeline, the unnatural ability to sit still for over 3 hours at a time while professing absolute nonsense, and the photos. His entire online presence rests in the uncanny valley, and given how proficient AI has become at spoofing entire personalities online, this left many across the internet wondering if this could be what's going on here. Is Egon Cholakian, proficient researcher, world-renowned scientist, and highly decorated alumnus of numerous prestigious universities, even a real person? Or is this one of the most involved examples of the dead internet theory that we've ever seen?
See, that's another reason I'm always talking about AI now too, because think about it, like these deep fakes are getting insanely good. Like people legit, like I almost thought this guy was totally AI too.
On Egon's channel exists a documentary called The Impact, and in it, we can hear an AI George Washington calling the audience to action against a so-called foreign enemy. It goes on to fearmonger about impending civil war, so-called anti-cult organizations that oppose him, and it puts forth various potential scenarios about the end of the world. It is, for all intents and purposes, complete AI slop, and weirdest of all, it goes on for 8 entire hours. If you click around this video, you will learn nothing. It's just a bunch of random propaganda wrapped up in vernacular that simply goes on in circles. Yet, even so, surprisingly, this video has found an audience. Thank you to all that stood up to protect our Constitution and our rights. Yeah, by the way, it's so nice to see actual journalism for a change. You all didn't have the complete story. The rabbit hole goes much deeper. This is 8 hours long, and you're saying we don't have the complete story? What? So I'll just go forth and say it. I refuse to believe that anyone on planet Earth has had the willpower to sit down and attentively watch all 8 hours of this, much less consider it journalism.
Yeah, see, those are all obviously bots, right? But I mean, they really did a good job kind of trying to make themselves look legit as possible, right? Like, after watching this video, I'm never going to look at anything on the internet the same again unless I know what I'm watching exactly. Like, you can't trust anything, dude.
We're
This
going
is
a
great
little bit
example.
deeper, okay? In chat, somebody brings up a YouTube video of this guy.
Hello. My name is Egon Cholakian. I am an intelligence educator. I prepare intelligence personnel for clandestine service. The focus of my career has been centered on...
Like, what does that mean? Is he with the government?
As this mystery made its way across the internet thanks to a live stream by Destiny, it led many to scour for traces of him online. It quickly became clear that nearly all media involving Egon Cholakian involved him speaking in front of a camera. His entire image was incredibly manicured, overproduced, and for a while, it seemed like there was nothing out there that could truly humanize him. But right when people were keen on throwing this entire mystery away as just another case of AI-generated nonsense, a random pandemic-era video depicting a Zoom call, of all things, found its way into the spotlight.
Hey there,
Oh my God, he's
Egon.
real.
How you doing?
Well, how about yourself?
Just peachy. I figured I'd step in early and just hang my hat.
See, what the
Awesome.
fuck? So this guy's an actual person, man. He's not an AI deepfake, which that seemed like it could have been, you know? So we can confirm he's
Fabulous.
real.
We have some people that are just kind of hanging out here. The judges are deliberating. The pitches took a little bit less time than we had planned for.
YouTube channel run by an old man doctoring photos of himself and over-embellishing his achievements to make him seem more legitimate than he is. Someone who, admittedly, seems pretty nice according to this call, and someone who found himself ensnared in an online conspiracy about his very existence, completely out of nowhere. All throughout Egon's comment section, we'll notice the same commenters spread out across his uploads. And upon taking a look,
Bot City, man.
interesting. What's going on with this?
Representatives of the Creative Society delivered a substantive presentation addressing one of the most pressing issues that has long been the subject of my research and concern for many years.
Weird, but okay. What the hell's the Creative Society?
You see right there, it says he is a member, like, CERN Laboratories Future Circular Collider Project Team. So this guy works at CERN. He's a lobbyist for U.S. Congress. Allegedly a doctor that went to like 5 universities at the same time somehow. And he's got just has so many videos online, like, pushing this bullshit. Like, so what is his MO? Like, what motivation does, like, how much is they paying him? Honestly. Like, he's got to be getting paid to do this shit, or maybe he's just like a crazy ass cult member, just brainwashed.
There it
dedicated
is
to the
again. Okay, I'm not trying to be tinfoil hatty, but there are way too many oddities taking place with this channel. Every single comment supports Egon. They seem to heavily lean Russian. They all connect in some way to something called Creative Society. And upon closer inspection, why is Egon on their website? From what it seems, Egon Cholakian isn't just a one-man show. It's a group. So who in the world are these people? Making its way onto every social media algorithm across the vast ocean of the internet is an idea. An idea that, on the surface, sounds idyllic, the sort of thing you'd hear in, let's say, a dream. The long-awaited arrival of a future we were promised, yet never came, and one that'll radically transform the lives of everyone that chooses to follow it. It goes by the Creative Society, and it's spilling out onto TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, really anywhere with an audience online. Take a look around, and chances are...
See, so far, everything looks legit. You know, it's not like I wasn't really getting cult vibes just yet, but you know, they're doing a really good job making themselves look legit. They're literally infiltrating aspects of our government, probably governments around the world. I mean, look at this shit, dude. Like, they are...
You'll find
like,
it.
everything looks not fine right now.
Front and center on their website, we're greeted with oddly familiar dialogue. Today, as the global community faces an increasing threat of natural disasters, the pursuit of security and sustainability has become fundamental for everyone. This situation requires immediate and decisive collective action. Just like the Earth Saves Science Collaborative, we're confronted with a conveyor belt of ideas, videos, and scientific reports that scaremonger about many of the same problems that Egon told us about earlier. Nanoplastics, catastrophic earthquakes, and increase in turbulence in the Earth's atmosphere. It honestly sounds like a complete rehash of the exact same information. So much so that when I was digging through this, I found myself wondering why they even bothered creating another site at all. Upon heading over to their About page, we're given somewhat of an answer, as the site goes from a retread of familiar information to something completely out of left field. According to the wall of information before us, the Creative Society is more than just a bunch of scientists peddling dramatic theories about climate change. It's an international project uniting volunteers from over 180 countries, aka most of the world, with the goal of transitioning in a legal and peaceful way within the shortest possible time to a new creative form.
You see, so this thing is fucking huge, man. Like, they're all over the world. They got legitimate looking websites. They're shaking hands with very important people, the Pope, all these politicians. Like, they got a deep foothold
Of society worldwide.
That's what's scary.
Further down, they go on to reveal that their aims include eradicating climate change, which they believe is caused not by humans, but cosmic forces, as well as miraculously putting an end to all wars. They guarantee that under this new system, all adults will receive a universal basic income every month and an extra $100,000 upon the birth of their first child.
Alright, see that right there, that sounds pretty good, right? I'm like, I could get down with 10 grand a month and, you know, go pop a child into a woman and You get 100 bands, dude. All right. Like I could see how they're getting people on board, trying to get new cult members. You know, like but this is what cults do, man. They promise all these good things. They show all this like doomsday, like end of the world. Like they try to make it look like this is the way to get around all the horrible things that are going to happen, just to scare fear into everyone.
Free healthcare will exist across the world. Travel without restrictions. The eradication of all debts, mortgages, and taxes. And all of this can be achieved if we simply follow their lead and unite under the Creative Society.
I mean, it sounds good on paper, it looks legit. It gets weird, man.
More in common with something like a religion, or perhaps even
my neighbor in my house, like, if I'm facing out the guy to my left, he is a cult leader. He has this cult called the Creative Society.
Shut up.
I swear to God.
What did they do?
They're like a doomsday, kind of like they're a doomsday cult, but they're like eco-doomsday. So they think that we're in the end of humanity, and the only way to bring us out of it is like through their method of creativity.
the concept of a new world order. A list of 8 pillars that their values are based around. The weird Illuminati-looking logo. All of this is packaged exactly like a cult.
Yeah, see, like that logo too, man. Like just so many things. At first glance, right, everything looks normal, everything looks not too bad, but then when you dig into it and you see all the little details like that, you're like, dude, that's a fucking actual real cult right here, dude. Like, what the fuck?
And although it seems obvious in hindsight, if you had merely stumbled upon it when scrolling online, you likely wouldn't even second guess it. This entire organization looks authentic. It pulls you in with its lengthy, seemingly well-researched reports and videos on important topics, led by experts who look legitimate. And it promises of a perfect world where you can be free, if only you spread their message. And somehow, it's actually working.
Yeah,
Plastered all over their website are image after image after image, depicting everyday people posing with Creative Society paraphernalia. From what it seems, this group is utilizing their appearance to wiggle their way into various climate expos, US-based business conventions, and even medical offices. This, combined with their immensely aggressive social media presence, in which their videos are spammed on nearly every platform you can think of, gives insight into why so many around the world have found their cause. More in common with...
See, this kid's crazy. This is a
So far, we've seen 2 interconnected climate activist groups that are very clearly peddling more than they've let on. Doing any sort of surface-level research into any of them reveals that their claims are extraordinary. They distort science, fabricate their credibility, and even on the Creative Society's website, they go on about a utopian new world order. Either none of these people are doing any research into the organizations they're so outwardly supporting, or they are, and I'm just the crazy one that doesn't see their vision. To me, the entire existence and support of the Creative Society is one massive paradox. People should be writing them off. So what really is going on here? Upon scouring the net for any information about this group, I happened upon an article written in 2022 on BBC.com. Penned by 2 climate disinformation reporters named Marco Silva and Marilyn Thomas, they dive into, of all things, how the Creative Society is fraudulent. They explain how several high-profile scientists were, at one point, invited to speak at their online events, mistakenly believing that they'd be educating the public, only to have their words entirely twisted. They claimed that video footage was edited to remove any mention of the human causes of climate change, instead framing them as if they agreed with the Creative Society's outlandish.
See what I mean? Like, so there you got the BBC trying to call this out and be like, yeah, these guys, you know, it looks legit, like at first, on first glance, but they are lying about a lot and over fabricating so many different things. I mean, just look at Egon Cholakian, dude. Like, he's just faked so much of his accomplishments and everything online, and just the lengths these guys go to like distort public opinion. is insane. It just gets worse and worse. Like, look at this. This is some real serious cult action, dude.
Views.
Terrifying.
Since then, these fraudulent videos have been blasted across their socials, fueling propaganda and continuing to attract more and more of the general populace to their cause. It's clear that this toxic combination of distortion and dissemination is what's quietly elevating them to prominence. But even still, there's a question brimming in the back of my mind. Who exactly is behind all of this? On their website, the Creative Society simply states that there's no one person funding or directing them. It's all just this undulating network of volunteers banding together to change humanity. However, it's when we scour the BBC article when we'll find that that isn't exactly true. Within it, they name drop a man, someone who's been affiliated with the Creative Society and shows up throughout the bulk of their online presence. In fact, it's a man who you've already seen several times throughout this video, hosting their conferences, introducing their YouTube videos, speaking on their network of over 200 channels across thousands of videos. He doesn't exactly hide himself, but he remains just distant and unfamiliar enough to the average person to not arouse suspicion and to coordinate things from behind the scenes. His
See, so this is your guy, man. Like, he is the mastermind behind all this, and whatever he's doing it for his own reasons, for money, or just for the power of it. But yeah, this is like textbook cult activity, man. Like, this is the sick fuck in charge who is just playing people like a fiddle for his own sick reasons, man. Like,
name is Igor Mikhailovich Danilov, formerly a chiropractor, now the leader of the Creative Society, and someone who's also listed as the leading figure in a Ukrainian spiritual movement, which... Hold on. Allatra is known for promoting pseudoscience and wild conspiracy theories involving aliens and secretive powerful elites that sacrifice children. Okay, that is an absolutely insane statement, but that name, we've seen that name before.
Yeah, so far...
Right under our nose, a group has been operating. And upon digging into them further and cross-referencing them with the Earth Save Science Collaborative and the Creative Society, it's become clear to me that everything we've covered up to this point was nothing but a front, a funnel to the real core of this rabbit hole. Allatra.
I think he's right about that.
Hidden within every climate report and embedded in every viral video are endless references to something called Allatra, an organization which, as it turns out, has much deeper and more expansive roots than anything we've seen so far. They're the ones behind the Creative Society project, the ones paying Egon Cholakian to lobby in the US government, the true puppet master behind this sprawling network of interconnected accounts that are quietly taking over the internet. While up to this point, we've seen the prior groups spreading misinformation and outlandish ideas, what Allatra truly believes at their core is so far out there, so off the rails, that I struggle to comprehend how they've ever been taken seriously. According to the videos on their vast network of YouTube channels, they sincerely believe that humans are capable of telepathy and have conducted several experiments using a walk-in pyramid where volunteers transmit symbols with their minds.
See, this is where it gets batshit nuts, right? I mean, up until this point, everything kind of looked like legit and like not too crazy, you know. But then, like, once you dig into it and find Allatra is behind most of this, and they're probably the ones in charge of the people funding this and getting the Creative Society to go all over the world, all over the internet, pushing their message and trying to get more and more people involved, you know. Like now. Just look at this shit.
In front of a live audience. They have videos showing members taking photographs of their thoughts, infographics about the soul coming from space, even podcast appearances where they talk about aliens living among us.
I mean, I could believe that. I've kind of believed that for a bit now, but alright, let's keep going.
Considering the level of their development, the Apexians had already colonized millions and millions of planets by that time. And naturally, they had developed methods of working with humanoids like us, right? So they took the simplest option. They elevated themselves to the rank of God.
Naturally, on their website, they mention none of this, instead describing themselves with the familiar spiel we know all too well by now. Volunteers across 180 countries, nanoplastics, the usual. It's when we take a look at their About page, though, when we're able to spot something strange. Taking up nearly half of this page is a massive section about a supposed defamation campaign enacted upon Allatra by a group called the Russian Association of Centers for Religious Insect Studies, or RACERS for short. Allatra claims that this group sought to tarnish its image by accusing them of believing in ideologies laid out in so-called fiction books that they once published. Furthermore, they go on to claim that they are absolutely not an apocalyptic cult and that all rhetoric supporting this is intentionally trying to discredit them.
Alright, so when he's talking about that book, basically whoever is affiliated with Allatra, they released some like novel like back in like 2000 something, like way a long time ago, and it's supposedly fiction, right? But allegedly this is like their Bible for their religion and their crazy cult, right? Like this is like what they believe and what they follow. And yeah, they mentioned that, and they basically they're trying to discredit any group trying to like expose them, and like the lengths they go to, man. Like look at this.
You know, it's funny they say that because we kind of already had an idea. If the alien believes in to give it away, then
like, you know, and you got the seemingly cult saying like, dude, we're definitely not a cult, bro. Stop calling us a cult. They're probably a cult, dude. Like, just say it.
Outright claiming that they're not a cult, guys. They are not a cult. Is a bit of a dead giveaway. But I digress. With this in mind, I did some digging into Allatra itself and stumbled upon a trove of information about their early years. I know I sound like a broken record when I say this, but even with everything we've seen them peddle so far, things still get stranger.
Yeah, dude.
In their early years, Allatra was born as nothing more than a publishing house, releasing novels penned by an author named Anastasia Novik. These books are highly spiritual and feature a being named Rigdon Japo, who's a sort of...
See, like this, what he's talking about now, this is like their Bible, dude. Like this is the point where I realized, like, oh my god, these people are all fucking brainwashed. They got their cult master leader pushing this crazy ideas, and these people probably believe everything they're saying, and like they are dedicated to the cause. Oh my god, this gets nuts.
Prophet for Allatra. Supposedly, he's been reincarnated. He can teleport, read minds, and displays numerous other superhuman abilities. Exactly the kind that they're trying to replicate in the pyramid videos. In essence, he's their version of Jesus, and some of the books even read like religious texts, containing conversations between Japo and Novik, where he relays the word of their god, a disembodied voice named Allat, to the reader. The most interesting part about Japo, though, has nothing to do with his supernatural behavior, but rather, his job. In their very first book, dating way back to 2003, he's introduced in his earthly form as a martial arts teacher and, well, would you look at that, a chiropractor. His students call him...
So what the fuck? Like, why are these guys always chiropractors, dude? Like, what about that profession has to do with... I don't know, I thought that was funny, but yeah, and like... This whole thing gets batshit nuts from here, dude. Like, these guys, literally, this is when you realize that this is an actual fucking cult. And they are huge, man. They are infiltrating the entire world. They're getting into government. They're getting into positions of power. All over 180 or whatever different countries they're pushing there. They got a big following, dude, and it's whatever they're doing.
But on more than one occasion, he is directly referred to by the name Igor Mikhailovich.
See, that's your guy right there.
While Allatra may have passed these books off as mere works of fiction, the inclusion of Igor Danilov is very real. This man, to this day, is convincing thousands to follow him. He professes the ideas baked into these novels in his troves of YouTube videos and on every Allatra website, and he convinces humans that they're capable of doing things that are physically impossible. At this point, we've transcended the realm of pseudoscience and societal manipulation, because this man, Igor Danilov, is trying to be a prophet. A warped, twisted, and disturbed prophet, leveraging his power behind the scenes to not only control people, but to enact some of the most disgusting acts imaginable.
See what I mean? This is where it gets nuts. Like, this cult leader guy, Igor or whatever, like, this is where you realize he's doing this for the power and, like, the sexual gratification from, like, getting all these women to worship you and believe everything you say. Sick people, dude. And this is real. Like, you're looking at, like, this is not a movie.
Добрый вечер. Я очень благодарна, что вы вышли со мной на связь. Я понимаю, что время у нас довольно ограничено, поэтому давайте пройдемся по тем вопросам, которые бы хотелось, ответы на которые хотелось бы общественности показать.
The video you're currently watching is an interview between a Russian journalist named Elena Namlieva and one of Igor Danilov's former so-called heavenly birds. In fear of retaliation, her identity has been concealed. However, the information she provides gives us an eerie look into his other ventures.
See what I mean? Like, she's so worried that she has to, like, totally hide her identity, but she went as far as to do an interview on the news to try to expose this, because she actually, you know, was able to not totally be 100% brainwashed, realize what's going on, and just the sick intentions behind all this, you know what I mean? But it's sad that, like, people literally have to worry about their safety to the point where they're living in fear, man. And that's another reason I worry. Like, at the beginning of the video, I'm worried for Nexpo, because he blew this shit wide open, man. Like, he's definitely gonna be a target, and I'm just saying, pray for this man. He's doing great, and don't believe, like, you're probably gonna start seeing lots of smear campaign, like, trying to discredit him, make him look bad. It might get to the point where they try to put him in jail or kill this guy. Like, these people, you're gonna see, like, they go to drastic lengths to.
In this interview, the woman explains that Igor, joined by other cult members, would regularly partake in group intercourse with upwards of 13 women at a time. These women...
13 bitches at the same time, dude. He's like, yeah, like, I gotta fuck 13 bitches right now. This guy's insane, bro.
As far as she knew, ranged anywhere from 20 to 40 years in age, and these acts were supposedly meant to cleanse their spirit. Igor Danilov, being the group's prophet, would utilize his power to coerce them into participating, and if they refused, resisted, or told anyone about what was happening behind closed doors, then he would convince them that their soul is all but damned to hell.
See, like, just think about that, like, the sick intentions behind this. Like, you're putting just the fear of God into these women to do exactly what you want. Like, everything. They're literally, like, having a 13 way with you for this shit, and if you tell them if they don't want to do it, they're basically going to hell. And this religion that you pushed on them that they believe, you know what I mean? Like, it's evil, dude. Like, this guy is a sick fuck, bro. And this is, like, 100% real. This is not a movie, dude. This is reality.
They're with us and remain silent, or are against us and are siding with Satan, he would claim. An unthinkable form of psychological manipulation that has kept women silent, obedient, and entangled in Danilov's web for years.
Конечно, это постоянно девушек держит в страхе. То есть, я говорю, это не в открытую происходит, но это постоянно фоном, да, проходит сквозь все беседы, сквозь все встречи, что или ты с нами, или ты попадаешь в прислать, ты будешь лично расплачиваться и спать.
I could barely hear what he was saying out loud, but if you read the subtitles there, he's basically explaining what would happen to these women if they don't do exactly what Igor wants, you know?
As details about Danilov's actions trickled out over the years, investigations into Allatra began to ramp up. In 2023, the Ukrainian Orthodox Church allegedly became so concerned about this group that they labeled them a psycho cult, while simultaneously Russia also declared their activities undesirable. Their controversial
Okay, right there, if the Ukrainian government and the Russian government are both out here saying, like calling these guys out and saying that there's something fucked up here, but both Russia and Ukraine at the same, you know that's not good, bro. Like the government of both of those countries both agree that this is fucked.
beliefs, psychological manipulation and coercion, and worshiping their leader as if he was some kind of messiah were starting to cause concern. And with the member base growing day by day, Allatra was rapidly morphing from the appearance of an innocent climate-focused organization into a legitimate global threat. In August of that year, Ukrainian forces organized a series of raids on the homes of Allatra's key members. They scoured Ukraine from top to bottom and followed every lead they had, no matter how insignificant. The video you're currently watching is an interview between a Russian journalist named Elena Namlieva and one of Igor Danilov's former so-called heavenly birds. In fear of retaliation, her identity has been concealed. However, the information she provides gives us an eerie look into his other ventures. In this interview, the woman explains that Igor, joined by other cult members, would regularly partake in group intercourse with upwards of 13 women at a time. These women, as far as she knew, ranged anywhere from 20 to 40 years in age, and these acts were supposedly meant to cleanse their spirit. Igor Danilov, being the group's prophet, would utilize his power to coerce them into participating, and if they refused, resisted, or told anyone about what was happening behind closed doors, then he would convince them that their soul is all but damned to hell. You're either...
You see, so this Igor guy, the cult leader, he is a absolute sick fuck, dude. He's putting all these women in like just a horrible situation, trying to make them do all these sexual favors, anything he wants, you know what I mean? And if they don't do it, their souls are nothing but damned to hell. And just putting the fear of God into these poor women, man. It's horrible that things like this happen, and like it's not like straight out of a movie, dude, but this is reality. Like that's what's crazy about this. And that woman, she had to hide her identity in fear of retaliation. That's what makes me worried for anyone speaking out against this. Like Nexpo, pray for Nexpo. He is probably going to see some, like, you know, kind of a smear campaign against him from these guys, doing whatever they can to discredit him, and who knows how far they'll go. They might even go as far as to try to do something like get him in jail or worse, you know what I mean? Like, I really would not put it past these people. This is insane. Like look at what they're doing, dude. He's having 13 chicks having sex with him at the same time.
Us and remain silent, or are against us and are siding with Satan, he would claim. An unthinkable form of psychological manipulation that has kept women silent, obedient, and entangled in Danilov's web for years.
Конечно, это постоянно дерутся, держат в страхе. То есть я говорю, это не...
As details about Danilov's actions trickled out over the years, investigations into Allatra began to ramp up. In 2023, the Ukrainian Orthodox Church allegedly became so concerned about this group that they labeled them a psycho cult, while simultaneously Russia also declared their activities undesirable.
Alright, so right there, you know this is fucked when you got the Ukrainian and Russian governments both aware, investigating this cult or group or whatever you want to call it, and trying to warn their people that this is bad news, you know what I mean? Like, if Russia and Ukraine are both doing that, you know this is bad, dude. Like, what the?
Controversial beliefs, psychological manipulation and coercion, and worshipping their leader as if he was some kind of messiah were starting to cause concern. And with the member base growing day by day, Allatra was rapidly morphing from the appearance of an innocent climate-focused organization into a legitimate global threat. In August of that year, Ukrainian forces organized a series of raids on the homes of Allatra's key members. They scoured Ukraine from top to bottom and followed every lead they had, no matter how insignificant. More than 20 cells were broken up, yet surprisingly, Danilov was nowhere to be seen. While the case, though, they weren't entirely empty-handed, as what they found instead was so unexpected, so completely out of left field that it turns this entire movement on its head. Inside one of their compounds, Ukrainian authorities uncovered an array of weapons, religious texts, and a myriad of blurred red objects. To give it away, then all throughout this compound are not only shrines dedicated to Vladimir Putin, but Trump hats everywhere. This is why they're creating account after account, specializing in nearly every country in the world to spread their message. This is why they're paying Egon Cholakian to cozy up to any major governmental figure he can. This is why they've spread to California and have launched a trendy new YouTube channel for a fresh American audience. These people will not stop their efforts until they land someone inside the White House and beyond. And you wouldn't believe it, but they're well on their way there.
I am running for president.
See what I mean? Like, once you figure out how evil the people behind this truly are, and the lengths that they go to manipulate and just gain power over people, and they're everywhere. They're in almost every country that matters, infiltrating the government, people of power. This is the most insane, batshit insane cult I've ever seen, dude. I think this is like worse than Scientology, man, at this point. And it just gets worse, dude.
Of the United States of America to give power back to the people and build a creative society worldwide.
Like, this is terrifying, dude. Like, this is 100% real. This is not a movie. Whoa, what the fuck, man?
Turns out that former football coach and presidential candidate Robbie Wells has been associated with Allatra in the Creative Society since 2019. Running for office, circulating the same rhetoric about a universal basic income, using every social media account to deliver pro-Allatra, pro-Putin conspiracies to his followers. Pastor Mark Burns, the man who just helped erect the golden statue of Trump, also has video after video spanning every one of his socials, supporting Allatra's cause. And most insane of all, even the Pope has given Allatra his blessing, something they make absolutely sure to boast about on their website. These activities, these attempts at gaining access to major governments across the world are happening right under our nose, and no one, besides a handful of people dedicated to following Egon's trail, are talking about any of it.
Alright, so this is getting kind of scary, right? Like, up to this point, this is all real. This is not a movie, right? All of the shit that they do, they have all this influence online, thousands of accounts, hundreds of accounts making video content on all these platforms, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, everything, pushing anything they want to push to get their message out there. So they have infiltrated our government. They have lobbyists like Dr. Egon Cholakian there in our government currently pushing their agenda, and whatever their sick goals are, they will stop at nothing to make sure that anyone standing in their way just gets dealt with. So this is where it gets kind of scary, right? That's why I worry for people like Nexpo blowing the door wide open on this. Like, surely these people are crazy and they are going to make anyone a target speaking out against them. And look at the lengths that they've gone to
Hello, Clara!
make sure that
Allow me to introduce you to Jakob Jol, a journalist, YouTuber, and qualified expert in cults, dedicating his life's work to exposing them and the plethora of sophisticated techniques they use to manipulate their followers. He's also a humanitarian, having spent numerous years volunteering in Africa, traveling to communities like the town of Moshi, Tanzania, where he helped to provide education and support to people in less privileged situations than his own. Or at least, that's what he says he does. Scattered across YouTube are numerous near-identical documentaries that provide a much more sinister look into Jakob's supposed activities in Tanzania. Satanist in Africa, from charity to child abuse. The victims told the truth. Why is Jakob Jarl still free? These productions span hours and appear to be entirely legitimate documentaries. They're presented by verifiable hosts who have taken to the streets of Moshi to interview locals who'd like to expose the truth. That Jakob Jarl...
Like, look at this shit. The lengths these people are going to. They're posting hour-and-a-half long documentaries, going out to Tanzania to film an actual person, just doing a fake expose on a person that is on their shit list, dude. Like, this is the most insane shit I've ever seen. What the
is a liar, a deviant, and that he secretly and covertly conducted an undercover operation to abuse and brainwash children in Africa. This case is so disturbing, so repulsive, that all over TikTok to this day are hundreds upon hundreds of videos spreading the word about this monster that has seemingly been hiding under the radar.
That is fucking scary, dude. Like what the actual...
For years.
This horrible human being who abused kids in Tanzania. His name is Jakob Jarl. He is from Czech Republic. He came to Tanzania.
Just take a look what this predator, Jakob Jarl, who raped African kids, is saying. Jakob Jarl.
See, like, they will literally try to ruin your life, dude. And they will go as far as to have hundreds of people with accounts on all platforms posting false defamatory info about you, painting you out to be the devil, man. Like, that, I've never seen anything like that.
Thousands of euros, claiming it was to help children in Tanzania, and then he used this money to brutally abuse them.
This account, Ollie Climate Girl, is one of hundreds spreading the Jakob Jarl story. Which is fine, it's good to get the word out. The part that isn't fine, though, is that this very account has already shown up in this video.
You see, look at that shit, dude. Allatra, this is like a legitimate organization with huge reach, so many people on their payroll or whatever, man. And just look at this shit, dude. This is the most, like, manipulation on such a scale that I've never seen, bro. Like, holy moly.
Jakob Jarl never did any of this. The documentaries, completely fabricated. The endless support of them, entirely manufactured. Every bit of information we've learned about Jakob up to this point has been nothing but what Allatra wants us to know about him. Because just a few years ago, Jakob did something to absolutely enrage them. In 2023, Jakob Jarl was one of a number of Czech journalists working to expose Allatra's activities. Turns out that he was instrumental in locating one of Igor Danilov's hideouts, and because of his meddling, he's now facing a coordinated smear campaign, essentially painting him as the devil. Unfortunately, it's difficult to parse who exactly is connected to Allatra and who isn't when it comes to their comment sections. They've amassed hundreds of them across their various uploads, and the overall sentiment ranges from unapologetic support to cautious skepticism. From what it seems, this massive psyop they're pushing is working in some capacity, as it's even caused the Czech government themselves to step in and investigate Jakub for these claims. It took years before he was exonerated, and while today he's thankful for it, the mental toll it took on him, combined with the internet's collective outrage about him doing things he never would have even imagined doing, all of it had unfortunately put him in an extremely dark place.
See, that is so scary, dude. It's just so wrong on so many levels. And that's what makes me worried about these people. Like, this is not a joke, man. Like, these motherfuckers will try to ruin you. And, yeah, I'm just saying, if you see anything like that, like, you might see people starting to target people like Nexpo or anyone speaking out against this, you know what I mean? And there's surely going to be some kind of coordinated effort for that. And I'm worried how far they will go, because look at what they did to Jacob here. Like, that is just cruel, dude. These people are sick.
Hello, this is Pastor Mark Burns, spiritual advisor to President Donald Trump, and I want to tell you, I'm here in the Tanzania embassy right now. Just had a wonderful, productive meeting. Jakub is not going to get away with the evil and the atrocities that has been done to these children. So let's continue to pray, let's continue to fight, and let's continue to tell the world that justice is coming. Jakub, you won't get away with this.
You see that right there? Like, they got people in our government close to the president, literally just name dropping you and just trying to slander you, and that is so scary, bro. These people have the power to ruin your life, and this is an example of them doing that.
It's interesting. I don't know if you know, but this summer holidays, Allatra is again visiting Tanzania. They're going there with like 20 volunteers for 2 weeks. And you know why they do it? Because the children we were helping, they discovered all their orphanages. And now they're getting into that orphanages. Of course, when they give those people money, you know, of course they will take it and they will be happy. So now they're going there and visiting those children we cared for years. And they are visiting them, and they will try turning them into this Allatra member in the future. You know, they have like this whole campaign, and that's the real torture thing, right. You know, because they can't hurt me with lies when I know it's a lie, you know, but they can hurt me with those children we helped them medically, we put them in school, and now they go there, you know, now they made all those people crazy, you know, they're spreading those things, so I can't visit Tanzania anymore. So I can never visit them again, the children, nor any of the volunteers. We like traveled there with a bunch of people for years. We cared for all of them. No one can visit them anymore, and all of those children are getting indoctrinated into Allatra code now.
Like, I can't even begin to explain how fucking insane this is. Like, they're literally sending a team of 20 people out to some country in Africa for weeks to indoctrinate these kids, just as a way to like get back at this guy. Like, I'm telling you, like the lengths these people go to is insane.
Now that you're saying that, I had never considered that as one of the negative effects that Allatra has had on people. That, I will say, is probably one of the most grim out of everything. And I never knew that, so thank you for bringing that up, because I want more people to know about this.
Yeah, so that's like the real thing that's hurting me. That's the only thing I can't like be laughing about. But the other things that okay, so they will kill me somewhere, you know? That's like something I can laugh about, because I don't care so much anymore when I know that it's much more important to fight against them. But this is something that hurts me, and I also feel guilty, because if I would not visit those children and would not investigate cults, they would not be indoctrinated by this crazy cult that's now targeting them.
Yeah, so this is a dangerous, dangerous cult, and they have a lot of power, dude. Like, look at what they can do.
At the end of all of this, I'm simply left feeling shocked. Shocked at the fact that something so random, so minuscule, a simple live stream by Destiny and a Reddit post to accompany it could morph into something so far from where we started. This entire time, Egon Cholakian has been nothing but a cog in a much greater machine. A fraud in so many aspects of his life. Allatra to this day is operating around the world and is doing everything they can to entangle themselves in world governments to further their cause. Like with Robbie Wells and Mark Burns, their strategies have been undeniably effective. However, I believe that shining a spotlight on groups like this can truly help prevent them from weaseling their way into where they don't belong. What they've unleashed upon Jakob Jarl and the handful of other journalists that have exposed them is cruel and inhumane, and it reveals to me just how effective the internet can be at swaying public opinion.
Seriously, it is absolutely cruel and inhumane, though, what they did to him. Like, that is not okay. And, like, the fact that they're so big, they're literally in our government right now, bro. Like, I can't even wrap my head around it. Like, this is the craziest shit I've ever seen.
If you had never watched this video and had randomly stumbled upon Jakob's story, I wouldn't fault you for believing everything that Allatra has been peddling. I wouldn't fault you for believing their climate disaster reports, considering the changes our planet's seen in the past few decades. And I wouldn't fault you for giving these people credibility, given the seemingly endless images and videos depicting them with powerful figures.
Straight up, dude.
While Igor Danilov, to this day, remains at large, his group continues to operate in capacities that I still don't fully understand. Who knows how many women are still under his grasp, worshipping him as something he isn't, coerced into satisfying him whenever he demands it, and being tormented into an agonizing silence. I can only hope that someday they wake up and realize how fraudulent everything about Allatra truly is.
Yeah, so as you can see, these guys are evil, absolutely fucking insane. They will stop at nothing to achieve their mission, and they will try to ruin you if you speak out against them. And the culty practices they do behind closed doors, the way they abuse all these women, the way they infiltrate governments all over the world to spread their propaganda and bullshit, is the absolute craziest shit I've ever seen, dude. I don't think it gets worse than this. Yeah, this is scary, guys. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed. I'll link the Nexpo video in the description. Awesome job on that, dude. This has been the craziest rabbit hole on the internet by far. Your title is not a lie.